What's up guys, welcome to Daily Refinement. In today's video, we're gonna go over why most resellers don't reach 10 sales a day. At $10 profit, that's $100 profit per day. And more importantly, we're gonna go over how to actually fix that. If you guys have never been here before, my name is Chris. I average a little over 300 sales per day, and I'm gonna give you guys my take on how to be more successful. Let's get into it. All right guys, let's get straight into it. So I think the number one reason people don't reach their goals is lack of motivation and support. And it's kind of a double-edged sword because once you start making 10 sales a day at $10 profit, you're making $100 profit per day, which is $3,000 a month. And that's pretty life-changing for most people. That's an extra $100 a day. And usually at that point, people actually take you seriously. But it's until that point, a lot of people might think what you're doing is kind of a hobby or maybe kind of a fad. And you can't accidentally have 10 sales for $10 profit, in my opinion, per day. So the road of being an entrepreneur, being a reseller, in my opinion, is actually pretty lonely. Sometimes I hear Elon Musk say, like, if you need encouragement, then don't be an entrepreneur. I think that's a little bit harsh. It actually brings us to today's sponsor, which is Blinkist. So I think that, to be perfectly frank, you have to motivate yourself. I think that most entrepreneurs, most successful resellers are self-motivated. They don't think about what other people think of them. They're always thinking about what they can do for themselves. So I've actually compiled 10 books that I think are really useful right here. So you can check out these 10 titles. This is where I would start on Blinkist to help you develop the self-confidence to build your own thing. And honestly, it's gonna be a lonely road. Once you hit 10 sales a day at $10 profit, a lot more people will be supportive. Everyone will be on board. Suppliers will be more interested to talk to you. Your family will be more on board because there's money in the bank. It's a totally different game once you get to at least 10 sales a day. And I think that anybody can do that. And if you need even more support from people who actually get you, you can check out my Facebook group at patreon.com/theresellerspodcast. In there, we have over 2,000 people with the same goal. Number two, one of the biggest problems I see is people fishing where there's no fish. So you might pick something that's unique or cool, like this ceramic mug, versus something that sells all the time, like a pair of jeans. Over 1 million pair of jeans sell on eBay every 90 days, and the majority of them are women's jeans between the size of 8 and 14. So if you just start going to thrift stores and finding quality items like this pair of Torrid denim at size 10, a lot of people are looking for this item. So you have to start with a quality item that a lot of people are looking for. So let's get to number three. Now you know what people want. So let's say women's jeans sell really well on eBay. You need to figure out what your sell-through rate is in that category. So as an example, on this channel, we usually use the 1% rule when you are a beginner, finding stuff that is highly in demand in the proper size. So for example, if you're finding Torrid size 12 in a style that's very popular, that probably will sell 1% at the time, meaning if you wanted 10 sales, you would need 1,000 of those jeans in stock. Now, there's a couple of caveats to that I'm gonna get to later in the video, but essentially to begin with, at 1% sell-through rate, you need 1,000 pairs of jeans to sell 10 a day at 1%. Now, if you've sold jeans before, like me, you know that most likely you will not have a 1% sell-through rate in this category unless everything in your store is highly on trend. When you go to the thrift store though, oftentimes you're finding stuff that's not on trend, less on trend, not the right size, not desirable, maybe the condition is not as good, so the sell-through rate is going to drop. So let's say that you have 0.1%, so instead of 1%, you have 0.1% sell-through rate, then you actually need 10,000 pairs of jeans in stock in order to sell 10. That's a much taller order. So you have to understand your sell-through rate and the category. That's why it's so important to pick items that are on trend, the right size, what people are looking for, and to be way more picky when you're shopping because it's really easy to pick up a cheap pair of jeans. Not easy to find a cheap pair of jeans that's something that people are looking for. So most people need to double or triple the amount of time they're on the road, list way less items, and find items that are actually going to sell through at what they're looking for. For most people, a 0.5% sell-through rate is sort of the slowest I would get, the slowest amount that I would go for. And what happens there is if you have all good brands, but they're all similar, what'll end up happening is your sell-through rate will drop. Like as an example, I have hundreds of pairs of this exact pair of jeans, Torrid size 10, it's brand new, it's a medium wash. So it would sell a little bit better if it was a dark wash, but because I have so many of the exact same pair, my sell-through rate drops dramatically. That's why I recommend a wide variety in the same category. That's why ideally you would have maybe 1,000 pairs in stock and it's the top 30 brands. instead of just one brand, which is a little bit more risky. All right, guys, I'm gonna summarize the first 4 tips and then get into our 5th most important tip. So number 1 was lack of motivation and support. Number 2 is fishing where there's no fish. 3rd is not having enough hooks in the water. So you need enough hooks in the water to catch a certain number of fish, in this example, 10. And number 4 is not having different kinds of bait on your hook. And just having all the same kind of bait is not gonna give you enough opportunities to catch enough fish. So now we're gonna get into number 5, which is the most important one. All right, guys, the top reason people are not consistent and don't get those 10 sales a day is that they don't have a schedule. I know I talk about this endlessly on my channel, but today I'm actually gonna show you guys my Monday through Friday schedule. And it's actually pretty heavily inspired by the book Atomic Habits. So this is the one I recommend to start with Blinkist and today's sponsor. So start with Atomic Habits, and it's essentially an easy and proven way to build good habits and break bad ones. My entire day is one giant habit. I'm gonna go over this and hopefully this is useful for you guys. So number 1, I wake up at 4:45, around 4:50. I do all my stuff in the bathroom. I drink a big glass of warm water with lemon. At that time, I go to the gym. If I don't feel like going to the gym for some reason, I will actually just do a YouTube workout, which is really simple, easy, free. So I get myself going by just physically being active in the beginning. In the morning after that, I come home, I have breakfast, I do my mastermind call in the morning from 6 to 7. I've been doing that call since 2017. It's 6 years in a row of me just talking to people who are trying to build their online business. It's sort of my jam, really trying to figure out how to do it myself and to show other people how to do it. After that, I hang out with my daughter and my wife for about an hour before I go to work. So on the way to work, on the way to the gym, I listen to audiobooks or I'm looking up Blinkist titles because for me, like I said before in the first tip, I don't feel like a lot of people have time to support you. So most of being successful as an entrepreneur is going to come from within. So when I get to work, I actually source and prepare 300 items a day minimum for other people. So I actually have 10 part-time employees that work here. So that's really what I do all day. When it was just me doing it all solo, it was the same thing. I was always done by a certain time because I had to pick up my daughter from childcare, and that's a hard stop every single day. Plus my wife hates cell phones. She hates it when you're not present, and I hate that too. So when I get home, essentially it becomes family time. So at 5 o'clock when I leave work, pretty much I leave work behind and I don't get to touch it again till the next day. Go pick up my daughter on the way home. We listen to Miss Rachel, which is a really cool toddler-based series of singing and dancing and learning. I think that's a really big thing because she's actually talking a lot, and I really do think it's from those videos and from us reading to her every day. Okay, so when I get home until 7 p.m., this is where all the family stuff happens, and it's where I prioritize time with my daughter because she goes to bed at 7. I call it putting the baby away, and that routine starts about 6:30. So it's pretty complicated actually. It is bath time, make sure to do all the fun things, sing all the songs in the bathtub, get out, get dressed, into the PJs, read her Goodnight Moon, sing to her a little bit, play with her a little bit, then she goes to bed. We put the sound machine on. She uses a small heater in her room, the blanket. She has her doll, she has her bear that she likes. Then we say goodnight, she comes out. So I actually don't do any chores during that 2-hour block because that's like the main time I get to hang out with my daughter. After that, it's kind of annoying that it's 7 o'clock and I'm still in my habit stack. At that point, I go do all the dishes, take a shower, and I actually don't need to look at my list because I've been doing the same thing since she was born. So like, I have given my daughter like 600 baths in a row, so I know this routine like the back of my hand. After that, after the dishes are all done, baby is put away, all the housework is done, then I hang out with my wife. On Fridays, we do date night. On all the other days, we sort of just hang out and plan, talk about 1, 3, 5, 10-year goals. We used to travel a lot before the pandemic, so now that time that we used to use planning for vacation, we do more planning for the baby, trying to figure out school for her. Also, I'm expecting another baby April 12th, so planning for that has been intense. And then finally at the end of the day, I unwind, stretch. I've been using this Fitbit to track my sleeping activity, and it's actually been pretty useful because it's taught me, like, I'm basically not tired enough sometimes. I know it sounds crazy because my day sounds like it's pretty hectic, but if I'm not tired enough, I'll just sit in bed for hours and not actually fall asleep. So it's really important that I actually get the most out of my day. If I don't work out, spend time with my family, work as hard as I can, at the end of the day, I'm honestly not that tired. So that really helped me out. Also, I try not to eat 3 hours before bed. There's so many habit stacks that I have built into my day. And this is gonna sound even more crazy, I unfortunately have 3 different schedules. So this is Monday through Friday. Saturday is a completely different schedule because it's mostly family day. And on Sunday, I have to get up at 3 in the morning to go to the flea market. So all of my days are completely different. And so it's never easy to have it be the same. But if I didn't have kids, if I could start all over, I would try to make all 7 days the same. I know a lot of entrepreneurs actually burn out from having scheduled time off because that's just not how a lot of entrepreneurs are built. They have to work a little bit each day. So as an example, when I went to Japan for 2 weeks, every single day at the end of the day, I wanted to check customer service. I wanted to help out my customers and let them know, hey, I have moved my handling time to 12 days or 10 days because I'm on a trip. If you need to cancel now because you need your item sooner, no problem. That's just part of woven into me as a small business owner. Some people do take a full vacation from their business. I'm okay with that, but I recommend you turn your store completely off if you need that. If you don't need to take a break from your business, I recommend spending 5 to 10 minutes a day doing customer service, adjusting your handling time shorter and shorter until you come back. So I was able to take plenty of vacations. We always recommend in our group at least 2 days off a week and also getting all of your work done before noon. Most people, if your listing goes under 30, you should be done before noon. So done before noon. If you need more help on that, you can check out our Facebook group, or more importantly, check out our sponsor today, Blinkist, and really get into what they have to say. Learn from all the best so you don't have to make the same mistakes again. I want to give you guys a little brief overview of today's sponsor, Blinkist. So Blinkist allows you to understand the most important things from over 5,500 nonfiction books and podcasts in just 15 minutes. So they essentially condense giant books and podcasts into 15-minute chunks that you can easily understand and you can just read or review like when you're having lunch. With the help of Blinkist, you can discover new perspectives, broaden your horizons, have exciting conversations, and to experience aha moments. And like I said before in the beginning of the video, most of being an entrepreneur is just being self-motivated and having self-discipline. And it's really, really important to take in what other people have found before us and use that as inspiration. So for me, I'm endlessly motivated because I'm constantly listening to this stuff. Hey guys, with every Blinkist premium plan, you actually get Blinkist Connect, which allows you to use 2 different accounts with no additional cost. Thanks Blinkist for sponsoring today's video. Please check out the link below to subscribe.